What if the people who feel the most are also the ones who see the furthest? What if the quiet ones in the room, the deep thinkers, the empaths, the idealists, are actually holding blueprints for a better future? Today, we're diving into the INFJ personality type, often called the advocate or the visionary. Known as the rarest personality type in the Myers-Briggs type indicator, MBTI, INFJs are driven by a powerful inner mission to make the world more compassionate, more meaningful, and more human. This isn't just about personality theory. This is about a vision for a better world, the kind only an INFJ mind could imagine. 1. Understanding the INFJ personality type. To understand the INFJ vision, we first have to understand the INFJ personality itself. INFJ stands for introverted, I, energized by solitude and deep reflection. Intuitive, N, focused on meaning, patterns, and future possibilities. Feeling, F, guided by empathy, values, and emotional intelligence. Judging, J, oriented toward structure, purpose, and long-term goals. At the core of the INFJ personality type is a function called introverted intuition, NI. This is the INFJ's superpower. It allows them to see patterns others miss, to sense future outcomes, and to connect abstract ideas into a single, powerful vision. Paired with extrovert feeling, FE, INFJs don't just see the future, they care deeply about how it affects people. This combination creates something rare. A strategic idealist. Someone who dreams big and quietly thinks about how to make those dreams real. 2. The INFJ mind, a world of patterns and possibilities. Inside the INFJ mind is a constant flow of symbolism, connections, and long-term insight. INFJs don't just observe the world, they interpret it. They notice emotional undercurrents in conversations, social dynamics others overlook, unspoken needs, cultural patterns, historical cycles repeating themselves. This is why the INFJ personality is often described as deep, insightful, philosophical, visionary, emotionally intelligent. When INFJs imagine a better world, they don't picture random improvements. They envision systemic change. They think about root causes, long-term impact, and the emotional well-being of humanity as a whole. Their question is never just, how do we fix this problem? It's, why does this problem exist in the first place, and how do we prevent it for future generations? 3. The INFJ dream, a more compassionate society. One of the strongest themes in the INFJ vision for a better world is empathy. INFJs believe society should be built around emotional awareness, not just productivity. In an INFJ-inspired world, mental health is treated as seriously as physical health. Children are taught emotional intelligence in school. Leaders are chosen not only for intelligence, but for compassion. Success is measured by well-being, not just wealth. The INFJ personality type naturally advocates for human rights, social justice, equality, inclusion, kindness as strength. They often feel a deep responsibility to stand up for people who are unheard, overlooked, or misunderstood. Because INFJs know what it feels like to be misunderstood, and they don't want anyone else to feel invisible. 4. INFJs and authenticity in a superficial world. Another key part of the INFJ worldview is a longing for authenticity. INFJs are deeply uncomfortable with fake personas, shallow interactions, and performative behavior. They crave depth, honesty, and meaningful connection. In their ideal world, people are encouraged to be their true selves. Vulnerability is seen as courage. Conversations go beyond small talk. Relationships are based on understanding, not status. The INFJ personality believes that real progress starts with emotional truth. When people stop pretending and start connecting on a deeper level, empathy grows, and division shrinks. To INFJs, authenticity isn't just personal, it's social medicine. 5. The INFJ approach to leadership. INFJs don't usually seek power, but they deeply care about how power is used. The INFJ leadership style is quiet, ethical, and purpose-driven. They believe leaders should serve people, not control them. In an INFJ-inspired world, leadership would focus on long-term impact over short-term gain, ethical decision-making, protecting vulnerable communities, sustainable systems, listening before acting. INFJs are often drawn to roles like counselors, teachers, writers, advocates, nonprofit leaders, therapists, visionary entrepreneurs, not because they want attention, but because they want meaningful impact. 6. Education through the INFJ lens. If INFJs could redesign education, it wouldn't just train workers, it would nurture whole humans. The INFJ vision for education includes teaching emotional intelligence, encouraging creativity and imagination, supporting introverted students, not just outspoken ones, focusing on purpose, not just performance, helping students discover who they are, not just what they can produce. INFJs believe every child has a unique inner world, and that world deserves to be understood, not ignored. Because INFJs remember what it felt like to be the quiet kid with big thoughts no one asked about. 7. INFJs and mental health awareness. Few personality types are as naturally attuned to emotional pain as the INFJ personality type. INFJs often absorb the emotions of others. They sense distress beneath smiles and hear the sadness behind jokes. In their vision of a better world, therapy is normalized. Emotional struggles are discussed without shame. People check in on each other regularly. Workplaces support mental well-being. Rest is respected, not judged. INFJs know that a society that ignores emotional health will eventually break under invisible pressure. They want a world where people don't have to suffer in silence. 8. The INFJ and the environment. Because INFJs think long-term, many feel deeply connected to the future of the planet. The INFJ worldview often includes strong feelings about environmental protection, sustainability, ethical consumption, preserving nature for future generations. INFJs don't just see a forest, they see a legacy. Their question is, what kind of world are we leaving behind? And they feel a moral responsibility to protect what cannot speak for itself. 9. INFJs are deeply empathetic. Empathy is the core of the INFJ personality. They feel other people's pain, even when it is hidden behind smiles or words. Emotional subtleties, small shifts in tone, body language or energy that reveal unspoken feelings, unspoken needs, desires, fears, and vulnerabilities that people don't articulate. This empathy is both a gift and a responsibility. INFJs absorb emotions quietly, often carrying burdens they do not share. It fuels their INFJ vision for a better world, where no one is overlooked. Everyone is seen and valued. Kindness and emotional intelligence are universal. INFJs often imagine schools where emotional learning is prioritized, workplaces that nurture creativity and understanding, societies where compassion guides policy. 10. INFJs overthink solutions. Because INFJs perceive multiple layers, they often overthink solutions. They consider short-term outcomes, immediate effects on people and systems, long-term consequences, the ripple effect of actions across time, emotional impacts, how decisions affect feelings, trust, and relationships, social ramifications, group dynamics, communication, and harmony. This careful thought process can make them appear hesitant, indecisive, or overly cautious. But in reality, they are aligning actions with values, empathy, and vision, ensuring that every choice has lasting, meaningful impact. 11. INFJs struggle with disappointment. INFJs face frustration when the world doesn't match their vision. They see potential wasted, injustice ignored, and opportunities for kindness lost. Disappointment is deeply felt. They internalize unmet expectations quietly. They reflect on failures, systemic flaws, and human limitations. They process pain silently, building resilience. Yet, these disappointments do not stop INFJs. They strengthen their resolve, reinforcing the purpose of their vision. 12. INFJs inspire change through small acts. INFJs rarely enact change through dramatic gestures. Instead, they offer a kind word when someone feels unseen, give thoughtful insight to spark new understanding, perform small acts of support that ripple through communities. They know that meaningful change is cumulative. 13. The INFJ vision is hopeful. Despite the weight of the world, INFJs carry hope. Their vision is grounded in human potential, the capacity for kindness, growth, and resilience. Emotional connection, empathy as the foundation for meaningful relationships. Compassion in action, believing small, intentional acts can create lasting change. INFJs envision a world where everyone is truly seen and valued. Emotional intelligence and authenticity are central. Compassion, integrity, and understanding guide society. The INFJ vision for a better world is quiet, powerful, and deeply meaningful. It comes from one of the rarest personality types, blending intuition, empathy, reflection, and moral clarity. 14. Why INFJs sometimes feel overwhelmed. Here's the hard part. Having a constant vision of how the world could be makes it painful to see how the world is. Many INFJs struggle with emotional burnout, compassion fatigue, feeling misunderstood, perfectionism, high expectations for themselves and others. The same empathy that fuels their dream can also exhaust them. They want to fix everything, but they're still human. Learning boundaries, self-care, and realistic pacing is part of the INFJ journey, because they can't change the world if they're completely drained by it. 15. The quiet power of INFJs. INFJs may be one of the rarest MBTI personality types, but their influence is powerful. History has been shaped by INFJ-like visionaries, people who combined empathy, insight, and moral conviction to inspire change. The INFJ doesn't always lead from the front. Sometimes they lead through writing, art, counseling, mentorship, ideas that ripple outward. They plant seeds in minds and hearts, and those seeds grow into movements. 16. The core of the INFJ vision. At its heart, the INFJ vision for a better world is simple. A world where people are seen. A world where people are understood. A world where people are valued for who they are, not just what they produce. It's a world guided by empathy over ego, meaning over money, connection over competition, healing over harming, understanding over judgment. It may sound idealistic, but every major step forward in human history started as someone's unrealistic vision. The INFJ personality type reminds us that sensitivity is not weakness, that intuition is not imagination, and that quiet people often carry the loudest truths. Their vision challenges us to slow down, to listen more deeply, and to build a future where humanity matters more than hype. Maybe the INFJ dream isn't just theirs. Maybe it's the future we've been needing all along. If you connected with this, you might be an INFJ, an empath, or someone who believes the world can be kinder, deeper, and more meaningful. And that belief, that's where real change begins. Comment below, which part of the INFJ vision resonates with you most?